Hello, my name is Jeremy. This is Red Means Recording, and this is the Aeros Loop Studio by Singular Sound. It is a 2x2 or 6x6 digital looper with just one of the best user interfaces I've ever dealt with. So let me load up one of the things I was working on, and we're going to walk through what it do. It has a touchscreen here, so let's hit Loop Studio, and it's going to load the last song that I worked on. This is going to take a while, and that's because there's a lot going on in it, and the SD card that I have plugged into the side is not the Class 10 super fast SD card that I would recommend getting for this. It does have some internal storage, and you can choose whether or not you want to record to the internal storage or whether or not you want to record to the SD card, and that goes for saving your projects as well. All the loops that you record are available as individual little WAV files when you take the SD card and put it in your computer, which means that you can take what you do here and make stuff in Ableton or whatever your DAW is. You can take it there and work on it a bit more. So let's hit play. Here we go. So here's my 6-channel loop. I recorded this all from the OP1. The loops are in stereo, which is really cool, so I can take advantage of the spring reverb stereo-ness on the master channel of the OP1. All this was played on quantized, but that was the point. Like, I wanted it to be kind of sloppy, kind of Dilla-esque. So if I hold this down, I get into mixer mode, and this is all touchscreen, so I can mute and unmute channels. And obviously this can be used on the floor with your big old feet, and you can hit select and move these around and then slap this with your foot if you want, but I like punching it with my fist. So even in here, you're seeing that you have a fair amount of control over the topology of your loops, which is really cool. You also have access to volume with this big honkin' rubberized ring, which is really nice. Touchscreen can be a little fiddly, but overall it's pretty good. So I'm gonna hit exit, and I'm gonna show off parts. So you can see this red line right here. That's the loop, right? And you can see that some of these loops have different lengths. That's fine. We're gonna record some loops, and I'll show you how that works. But like, you also have parts. So if I hit select part over here, I can choose between these 3 parts that I've recorded, and they're basically different song sections. So let's let this play one more time, and I'll show you how this works. So we're hitting that full loop. I'm going to select the next part. Now you can see the little things right there. If I hit play, after this loop is done, it's going to go to the next section. So that's a part. Now I can select the next part and hit play. And after this is done, it will go to that. And that's the basics of navigating parts. So let's go ahead and make a new part. Now, I'm going to overdub that first kick because it didn't quite catch it. So if I hit overdub, I can infinitely overdub over this. And I hit play. All right, cool. So I just recorded my bass beat. Let me go and find the next thing I want to record. All right, I'm ready to go. All right, I wasn't happy with that, so I'm going to undo it, and then I'm going to hit record. So now I have a loop of a different length, which is pretty cool. So I know I want the percussion on the next track. So I accidentally hit next track instead of overdub on that one, and I'm not sure how to go back and fix that, but we'll just call that good and record something on this top track here. Since I'm in overdub mode, it's going to keep on recording this loop since I already sort of recorded it. I'm just going to hit play. Now technically I'm not recording anything, and if I hit next track, it'll record the next track. So I'm going to try to find something next to record. We have one more part. Why don't we just add a bass line? I don't know. And then, of course, we can go in and mute things if we want to. So that's the basics of recording. You can actually do non-quantized recording. You can not have bar lengths or anything like that. So you can make loops of various lengths and mix them together. Make it sort of like an ambient thing. Let's go ahead and make another loop. Just a simple 4 on the floor, and then I want to take advantage of the reverb on the OP1, because while it's not the best, it does make things sound nice. All right, that'll be good. So you can see just how easy it is to snap in and out of this, which is kind of nice. You could do this with an iPad, no question, and it would be fine. But I like having the physical interface and being able to sort of just punch things, which is nice. They put a lot of thought into the UI, and I think it's just really, really engaging in a nice, cool way. I love seeing the waveforms. Yeah, it's neat. So what do we want to do next? Now, I could be wrong, but in the SD card, when you go in there and try to grab these files, what I saw was that these green takes and these blue takes are actually separate files. It's remembering what was done, and it has to, because if I hold down overdub, I'm going to undo that recording there. So you actually get access to more layers than you might think you do if you want to use this as an idea station to then bring into to a DAW and mess with, like I am doing now, or like I would probably do with like hooking this up to my modular system and recording loops there, which is pretty awesome. One more part. Gonna hold on, keep on. So you can see just how easy it is to come up with stuff and add it. It's not hard. It's not quite like recording in a DAW because it's difficult to go back and undo completely a take you had. But if you're just looking to get ideas into a device that you can maybe go mess with later or perform with, because all this is saved. Like, I could take this to a show and sing over it if I wanted to, or do what the fuck ever. Like, I could just play an instrument over it. That is the Aeros Loop Station, and I really like it. I think it's really cool. They sent this over for me to test out, and I've been having fun with that little jam, and I think I'm going to work it into my workflow a bit more, especially multi-tracking hardware synths, and just making some like little vignettes that I can then go take to Ableton or something like that to mess with. If I was a performer, this would be a live performance tool. Absolutely, no doubt. Like, you know, if you're one of those people that likes playing guitar or whatever and wants to loop your voice and loop your guitar, I can't think of many things that would be better than this. Then again, I'm not a guitar player, so I don't really know. If you want to get like a full rundown of how this thing works, Loopop did a really fantastic video on it, and he's thorough and eloquent as usual. God bless Loopop. So go check that out. There'll be a link in the description. I think there's been a little card up here for you to check out. I can't look at this without thinking of a company called Aeros, which makes a very different product, which, you know, you may or may not be familiar with. Anyways, thank you, Singular Sound, for sending this over. I've had a lot of fun with it. I will continue to have a lot of fun with it. If you guys have any ideas of how I might use this, please leave them in the comments, and maybe we can fold it into another video in the future. All right, my name's Jeremy. This is Red Means Recording. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.